The sky was dim, lit only by the moon, and Keegan was running excitedly down the hallways of his house. His feet slammed heavily against the ground, rattling the various pictures and artwork that hung on the walls, and his long golden hair blew freely behind him, the long locks tickling his neck. He burst into his parents' room. Kriti and Odin woke from their sleep, followed by the stirring of Keegan's parents. "Keegan, what are you doing up? It's 3 in the morning," Reed mumbled from the bed. Her sphinx, Kriti, had already fallen back asleep. Torn, Keegan's father mumbled something inaudible as he fumbled for his glasses. Odin, his drake, snarled in annoyance and curled up to return to his dreams. "It's my 10th birthday today. You know what that means." "It's the day of initiation for me," Keegan screamed excitedly. "I finally get to meet my familiar. I have to get something cooler than Leod's grizzly bear cub, otherwise I'll never hear the end of it." "Dear, you know that isn't why you receive a familiar. They're there to protect and help you, not just some show pony to brag about. I'm sure you'll love yours, for one reason or another. Either way, this isn't for quite a few hours from now. Why don't you go back to sleep, okay? You'll meet your familiar soon enough." "Okay, Mother," he huffed, stomping off to bed. Soon he was fast asleep. In his dreams, Keegan was traveling through the forest of their coven. Animals bustled and chittered all around him. Birds, cats, mice, wolves, and even a fierce dragon were scattered throughout the massive trees. Keegan hoped he wouldn't receive a sphinx or cat. He wasn't a big fan of them. They had sharp claws that could hurt if they were startled. He thought that maybe a turtle would be nice to have, even though they moved slowly. Dragons were kind of scary, but he still found himself wanting one anyway. Keegan wandered deeper and deeper into the forest. Maybe, he thought, if I dream long enough, I could get an idea of who my familiar is. However, he began to see fewer animals the deeper he traveled. Friendly songbirds were replaced by mourning doves and vultures, and mice were replaced by rats and weasels. Less and less light reached through the forest's thickening canopy, and Keegan began to feel frightened and alone. Keegan soon found himself in the darkest part of the forest, the place his parents had warned him of. Barely any light shone through, making it difficult to see. The trees were covered in deep scratches and spiderwebs, and he heard barely any animals, except for the occasional scuffle or growl in the blackest of shadows. Keegan was very frightened by now, and he started to cry. "Mommy, Daddy, help!" he yelled, though it seemed to no avail. A snarl erupted from behind him. The giant grizzly bear roared, its call echoing through the hollow forest. Keegan fell to the ground, his legs giving way beneath him in terror. The bear raised its clawed paw. Keegan cowered beneath its huge paws and closed his eyes as they came down upon him, but felt nothing. Keegan opened his eyes to a bright light. A dog with fur as white as snow stood between him and the bear. It held the giant paw in its mouth and tossed it to the side. The dog swept Keegan off the ground and onto its back, carrying him quickly along a path he couldn't see until now. Its fur was soft and fluffy, and Keegan found himself drifting away from the dream as the dog brought him into the safety of the lighter forest again. Keegan awoke in his bed. The time on his clock was 7:30. He stretched and began to get dressed for the ceremony. He was worried, but was confident in what his familiar was nonetheless. He ran into the office room where his father was sitting at the computer. "Daddy, I think my familiar is going to be a dog," Keegan stated excitedly. "Really? I guess we'll have to wait and see at the ceremony today," his father answered. "We have to wait for your mother before we can leave, though. Eat some breakfast for now." Around noon, Keegan and his family arrived at the ceremony. The high priest Kendrick stood before the entrance to the village, along with the rest of the coven. "Keegan," the high priest boomed, "today is the day that marks your 10th year of life. Today is the day that you are initiated into the coven. Today is the day that you will receive your familiar. Our spirits are with you today, Keegan, as you call to your familiar from the tour of meditation. Best of luck to you." The high priest opened the gated entrance of the village. Keegan hugged his parents, then ran through the gate, headed for the meditation spot. The tour of meditation overlooked a clearing in the forest. In the coven, it was used as a spot for various ceremonies, including meditating, spells, rituals, and familiar evocation. Keegan climbed atop the structure, closed his eyes, and absorbed the nature around him. Everything was crisp. The chirping of birds and bugs, the earthy smell of the rain from the night before, the cool texture of the rock beneath him. He could hear the approaching footsteps of another. He smiled and opened his eyes. Before him stood Leod, and with him at his side the grizzly cub familiar. They both snarled at Keegan. "So, what did you get, you pretty little kitty yet, or was it a chicken?" Leod snorted. "Go away, Leod," Keegan mumbled. "I'm trying to find my familiar." "What's the point of doing that anyway? You're not a real witch, Keegan, and you never will be. You might as well leave the coven for another home. You don't belong there with us anyways." Keegan was becoming frustrated with the older boy and shut his eyes tight to try and focus on his evocation. He was beginning to visualize the forest full of animals now. He began down the path to find his familiar, but all he could hear was Leod. Just give up, twerp. You'll never find that spirit animal, and if you do, it'll probably be a black sheep, a timid, scared little dork who doesn't belong. You won't— Shut up, Keegan screamed. He had tears in his eyes, he knew, and the forest path he traveled was becoming darker. Aw, you're gonna cry now? What's the matter? Did the animals all run away from you? Keegan was entering the dark forest in his evocation. As he trudged along, a copper-pelted beast ran past him, knocking him over. Looking up, Keegan saw a dog standing behind him. He stood up and brushed off his pants, and the dog walked up to him. It grabbed his sleeve gently and tugged him back toward the light. Keegan's familiar had found him. Keegan lost his thoughts at the sound of Leo screaming and a vicious barking. Opening his eyes, Keegan saw the copper dog below the Tower of Meditation, barking at Leo and the bear cub. They ran quickly, and the dog soon quieted. Keegan hopped from the rock and ran to his familiar. The dog wasn't white like in his dream. Rather, she had a copper coat and a white underbelly. She didn't glow like in the dark forest, but the sunlight bounced off her coat and shimmered. A white cross stained her forehead beneath her sky-blue eyes. Keegan hugged her close. "Thank you for guiding me," he whispered in her ear. "I think I'll call you Star." Keegan let go of her. "Come on, Star," he yelled. "It's your turn to follow me." Star yipped in response, and they raced back to the village side by side.